There's a prediction circling in Silicon Valley right now. It's whispered at dinner parties, debated in closed-door boardrooms. It sounds like a fantasy or maybe a threat. What if the next billion-dollar company isn't built with a team? What if we're about to witness the birth of the world's first one-person unicorn, built and operated by a single human being? No employees, no payroll, just one founder and a ghost workforce of code. To understand just how impossible that sounds, let's go back to the 1920s. In the 1920s, to build an industrial empire like Ford, you needed an army. You needed 100,000 pairs of hands, 100,000 brains, massive physical leverage. You had to own the land, the steel, and the time of thousands of people. The size of your workforce became a competitive advantage, a moat, something that made it nearly impossible for any small company to compete with you at scale. But as we moved on, something interesting happened. Let's take a look at the year 2012. Kodak, a titan of the industry in the 80s with over 145,000 employees, now had about 19,000, and they just filed for bankruptcy. But in the exact same year, Instagram sold for $1 billion with just 13 employees. This was something unthinkable in the 1920s, and in 2012 it set the new standard. The pattern was clear. Software was eating the world, and you didn't need factories or thousands of bodies. You needed a few brilliant engineers and code that could scale infinitely. But even in 2012, you still needed a team. You needed that 13. Now watch this. Today, we might see the final compression from 100,000 to 13 to 1. This isn't just about efficiency. This is a fundamental shift to how we build businesses. If one person can capture $1 billion of value, where does that leave the rest of us? Why is this even possible now? Well, for the first time in human history, intelligence, the ability to reason, plan, and execute, is no longer a scarce resource. It's becoming a utility, just like electricity. We are entering an era where the marginal cost of expertise could approach zero. The performance gap between the world's best AI models has basically collapsed. Intelligence is now abundant and accessible. When a resource goes from scarce to abundant, the economics of the world flip upside down. It's being called the universal amplifier. In the past, technology amplified muscle. A forklift let one person lift what 10 could. Now technology amplifies cognition. A novice with an AI agent can perform expert-level tasks such as coding, design, legal drafting without the years of training. The floor has been raised, but the ceiling has been blown completely off. Now, we have to talk about the money, because if this prediction comes true, if one person can generate $1 billion in value, it breaks the fundamental contract of economics. In the old world, if a company made $1 billion, that money got spread out. It paid 10,000 salaries, it paid for 10,000 mortgages, it paid for schools and groceries in the communities where those people lived. The wealth spread into the economy. But in the era of the one-person unicorn, that leakage stops. The value capture becomes absolute. The game becomes a winner-take-all. Current data and models show a strong association between AI adoption and wealth concentration in AI-intensive sectors. The top 1% have increased their wealth share, while the bottom 50% edged down. And macro studies find AI investments linked to higher incomes for the richest groups. What happens to everyone else? Well, this is what some are calling the white-collar bloodbath. It isn't just about unemployment, it's about devaluation. When intelligence is a utility, the economic value of the average worker could drop. A call center worker using AI can perform just as well as a veteran, flattening the wage for the majority. Why pay a premium for expertise when the algorithm gives you the answer for pretty cheap. And there's a structural threat to how we build the future. It's called the apprenticeship crisis. Historically, you became an expert by doing the grunt work. The junior lawyer reviewed thousands of documents to find the one smoking gun. The junior coder wrote thousands of lines of boilerplate code to understand the architecture. They learned by osmosis. But today, AI performs that grunt work instantly. If juniors are no longer hired to do the basic work, they never acquire the tactical knowledge required to become seniors. We are hollowing out the workforce, and we could see some major consequences because of it. And beyond the economics, there is a deeper, more existential danger lurking in this efficiency. It's called algorithmic monoculture. If we all rely on the same oligopoly of foundational models to synthesize our information, draft our arguments, and solve our problems, we introduce a systemic bias towards the mean. It's like agricultural monoculture. If every farm grows the exact same crop, a single pathogen can wipe out the entire food supplier. If every human thinks with the exact same algorithm, a single hallucination or bias propagates instantly across the entire ecosystem. We could be building a world where people can't think for themselves. So, is that it? Are we doomed to be obsolete? Is the future just one trillionaire in a server room and billions of people with nothing to do? Maybe not. Because when perfection becomes cheap, imperfection and genuine connection becomes a luxury. So value migrates. We'll start to price things not because they're perfect, but because they have a history, because we have a connection. These imperfections signal that a human being spent their finite time on it. Now, while high-level reasoning is getting easier for computer, tasks like fixing a plumbing leak, performing a surgery, caring for the elderly, they're hard. And the physical world offers a high-fidelity resistance that the digital world just doesn't. The surgeon and the electrician operate in chaotic realities that resist the flattening of AI. So we may see an inversion of the hierarchy, where manual labor commands a higher premium. But the irony is, in an age of infinite artificial intelligence, the most scarce and most valuable resource is no longer being smart, it's being human. The one-person unicorn is coming, the technology is almost there. The only question is, are we ready for what they're building? Or, more accurately, are you ready for who they're building it for? If you want to see what else is being reshaped by tech, business, and the economy, then you're going to want to subscribe and watch this next episode right here.